We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show.
ADR Networks presenta Las opiniones expresadas en este programa son responsabilidad exclusiva de quienes las emiten y no representan necesariamente el pensamiento o alguna posición oficial de este medio de comunicación.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
Foreign show. On that foreign show. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be see ya every Friday here at TFA.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is.
On the Foreign Show.
Hey. I'm Celestine.
I'm Isaac Rakesh, and welcome.
And
to
we
the
are here on ADR Networks.
Activating
Your senses. So it took a while to start because we had some technical difficulties. But we want to share with you, like in this, really quickly, because our guest is here. We're going to share with you that tomorrow we'll be playing at Afromax Festival. It's like a hip hop Afrobeats thing, and it's quite exciting. So that's us. Yeah, but there's like a lot of other acts. There will be other performance artists, and there will be a lot of DJs, and it's going on from noon till midnight. So it's an all day event.
It's a full-on festival, y'all. All kinds of artists, and if you like Afro music, you like amapiano, you like dance hall.
There's reggaeton as well.
You like reggaeton, you like hip hop, which we will be representing.
Okay, so you go into Eventbrite, and look out for the Afro Mexicans Fest, and get your tickets, because right now I think it's still going at 200. I'm not sure, but at the door it will be 300. And like if you want a special price, you can contact us. Maybe we can still get it for you. So okay. And so now we are really excited because we're going to do like a special show.
Yeah, as you can see, we're kind of decked out a bit differently today, for the special show.
So we have a repeat guest. We have Jenn with us.
Yes, y'all.
We are going to do a role reversal thing today. Mm-hmm. She is going to interview us.
Mm-hmm. Tables is going to be turned. And as you know, that foreign show, we interview guests, we interview very interesting people, and so Jennifer is one such person that we really connected with, and we decided to come up with this concept because we were having just some great conversations, right?
Yeah, so some background, like Jenn is pretty new to Mexico City, Mexico, and she's going to leave soon, actually. Next month, she's going to go back to the US. She is Vietnamese American, so generally she's like the exact model of who to invite for our show. She's like she's a foreigner and she's international, and and when we hang out, she has so much interesting, she has so many interesting questions for us, and
the personality which you're gonna see, which you have seen in the previous,
she's so bubbly.
Just the perfect person for this
role reversal
episode.
thing. And so she has many questions for us, and we just released our first song, our production debut. We have other songs, but this is completely produced by us, composed, arranged, everything, and we're very excited to share. So it's like the perfect opportunity that we do this interesting idea.
And I also want to give a shout out to the folks at ADR Networks for allowing us to do this, and also wanting to be creative. Those guys, they're always pushing themselves, and so here we are with this special episode.
All right, so let's jump right in. Katia, ¿puedes invitar?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank
There
you.
we go. Hi,
It's so
Jennifer.
nice to be back. I've never
Yes.
been interviewed before, and then you guys interviewed me, and I've never interviewed anybody before. So
Oh, okay. So
Fun,
I'll go
right?
first.
We're just doing like interesting, creative, like out of the norm stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really right. I think you're perfect to interview because you're right. When I was just talking with you guys, I just wanted to know more. I'm like, your story is very interesting. Like, it shouldn't just be about us. We need to know about you guys too.
Yeah, you're the perfect person to do this. So
Yeah, thank you for thinking about this and making it happen. So yes, we are ready.
what a fun idea.
Yeah,
So
it.
Okay, so now let's exchange. So like Jen, now the floor is yours. You do the hosting.
Yeah, kind of like they said, I've known Celestine and Isaac since I think either January or February, so it's been like 4 or 5 months. But think about Mexico is you hang out with people so much and do such crazy things that it feels longer. So I'm really grateful to have met you guys.
Yeah.
I think this show is cool. And yeah, let's let your audience get to know more about you because I think your friends really. So you guys have an interesting background. You guys are not from here. You're not from the US. You guys are from Singapore and you moved here 9 years ago and you've been in Mexico City for 9 years. So we're familiar as your friends with your story, but it's time for your audience to get a glimpse. Can you walk us through your two decisions? Why did you leave Singapore? Why did you leave home? And then number two, why specifically Mexico City?
You wanna do it? You want to answer first, or who does?
Yeah, sure. Why did we leave Singapore? All right. Well, we were doing a lot of things in Singapore back then also, but it has always, like, the pursuit of music has always been the main thing. So, and one of the main reasons why we left was to actually play a show here in Mexico. We were working with a composer that we met in Singapore and working on our first album together.
Who was Mexican?
Yeah, he was Mexican, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that, no? Right? Actually, that first album.
I mean, and of course, like the main reason why we wanted to leave was to like just expand ourselves and like feel who we are as artists in a different way, like in a different context from like being in Singapore and just see what life had to offer for us artistically. And yeah, and actually like this is the more important part, is that I think like art for us has always been like secondary, like spiritual things, like just self-reflection and understanding life in that way was always top. Like art was just like a vehicle, to express like all these ideas that we have, or like the understanding of life that we have. And so like leaving the country, that so we can actually look at ourselves and also get rid of like all the stories, the karma,
just built up ideas, just ideas, the ways of looking at ourselves that we wanted to change, and these things are, in our opinion, pretty difficult to kind of shake off, because especially when you're in a place that is comfortable, that is familiar, and that is small. In our case, even in Singapore,
very small.
Yeah,
Singapore is like half. I mean, the whole country is like half the size of Mexico City, so it's so small.
Wow. Yeah.
With so many people, and everybody is like kind of like always telling each other what to do and how to be, like how to, like it's like that.
And
even
everybody
though
knows everybody, like if you go out, you're gonna meet like at least 8 people,
a few people,
10 people.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
for
super
sure.
small. No, I think every hero of any story, their coming of age story begins when they leave home. I think that's always like the first step. Leave what's comforting, leave what's familiar, and explore something new. And you're right, it's always in the pursuit to find yourselves. So it's really interesting that you guys did exactly that. And you're right, artistry was your vehicle, and also art is so intertwined with like who you are and your identity, that finding your art is also you at the same time finding yourselves. So thank you. That really leads me to my next question, which you guys already touched on.
That leads me to a question, but I'm
Isaac's
going to have
to
to refrain. I'm going to have to fight the urge to ask a question and let you go ahead. So shoot.
No, that's great. Yeah. I want to know, what are some cultural differences that you've noticed between Singapore and Mexico City? I'm sure there's a lot, but what are some really things that like stuck out to you guys?
I mean, like something really obvious is like, okay, so Singaporeans, we are not, like, the intention is not to be rude, but we have a very rude talking style. Like we speak very short, and like when you're too polite, people think you're like being very arrogant. Wow. If you pronounce too well, they think you're trying to be too Americanized. Something like that. It's like, so, and then on the other hand, when you come here, everyone's like, Buenas tardes. You need to take that moment. And in Singapore, if you do that, the people will give you weird looks. and
actually, that brings an example to mind.
Act like you're so like up there, like they think that you're so proud. Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. Remember the unadulterated water? So I'll just give you an example, right? So we were, and this is us, right? This is us behaving that way. So we were standing in line to get popcorn somewhere
In Singapore?
In Singapore, right? And this person, I mean, a celebrity, a Singaporean celebrity. We're not going to mention any names.
Singaporean celebrity, but he lived in like US the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he comes up to the counter and he's like, "Can I get a glass of Can I get a glass of water, unadulterated, please?"
So the way he said the whole thing.
The whole thing stuck with us for years. You know? I mean, like even now we're talking about it, right? So like, what is that? You know, it's like, okay, here's actually this dude just expressing himself. You know, trying to be fancy. You know, like in a way, right? Like, you know, like just doing his thing. But it just goes to show like how judgmental actually Singaporeans really are. Like when someone is trying to speak in a different way.
Yeah,
or
and
something, you know?
and it's like when you're walking around, everyone is judging you for everything, like what you put in your hair, what you're wearing. If your shorts are like they're too short, and like there's a bunch of people just like whispering there and then looking up and down, you know, like.
Yeah.
I would not survive in this society, but you feel
No.
small country that it's like everything's magnified, kind of. Everyone's watching you.
Yeah, and it's so funny because at the same time, like Singaporeans are also so easygoing and so casual and like, you know, it's a blend. Yeah.
Like lepak is a term. It's a very very chill kind of vibe Singaporeans actually have. You know, so
Yeah, it means relax.
Yeah.
And I mean it is an island. The roots before like the Chinese and the Indians arrived in Singapore, it was like mostly the Malay community. They were just fishermen, so they were very chill, you know. So Singapore has like the blend of like the super ambitious and, you know, getting from third world to first world so fast, so advanced and very successful in a lot of things, at the same time very chill. So it's strange, you know. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Yeah, even just looking at you two, it's very clear that Singapore is a huge blend, very diverse. What are some of your favorite things about Mexico City and least favorite things, and kind of like what surprised you when you came here culturally?
You want to go? I was talking.
Well, I think the first thing that hit me was like the poverty level here, you know, and not to take a dark make things dark or something, but yeah, it was something that really stuck with me, like because we were invited to a jam at a friend's place, you know, a really nice place, you know, and we were jamming and everything, everyone having a good time, you know, like, and then we leave the house, you know, waiting for our cab, and we see a dude going through the rubbish, looking for something to eat, you know, and we've never seen that before, like.
Oh wow! You don't see that in
like-
Singapore.
You don't see that? You don't
No,
see that, yeah.
I mean there's definitely poverty in Singapore, but it's all hidden away. That like it's not allowed to have beggars. It's super not allowed
Yeah.
to, like there you don't see. There's nothing. Singapore is very very well controlled, managed. Like even our trees are planted exactly where the government wanted it to be planted.
Yeah. Everything's very well
Organized.
and policed. You know, everything is really well policed, and there poverty, homeless people do exist. Yeah, they do, but they kind of
They're managed in a way.
In a way, right?
Yeah. So, like when Isaac first saw that, like he was very concerned. I mean, when he saw like the people eating out from the garbage, he was very concerned because he thinks that like, I mean, we've never seen it, so it was overstimulating, right? And like he also thought like, okay, if people are that desperate, they might just rob us. Like it doesn't matter if we are right out in the open, but they might just rob us, you know. Like the feeling was there, and then he felt very protective.
It's more of the feeling of it, no? Like the sound. All right, yeah, there we go. We are back.
Sorry,
Okay, we're back.
I don't know if it was me who froze. Whoops.
You want to answer that question also
What?
about the cultural difference, you know, like something about Mexico. You know?
Right. So, I mean, like earlier when we were talking, I kind of forgot like the second one, but like generally, like the polite thing that I was saying, right? Like like Mexicans are very polite, and like to the extent that they find it hard to say no. In Singapore is like people are super direct, and in fact, if you tell them yes and it's actually no, and you waste their time, is a super big deal. They might flame you. You might flame you for it. Yeah, and like I don't think we are that hard up about like hung up on like being on time. Like most of the time, like 5 minutes, people are still okay. But once you hit like 15 minutes, like let's say for work or something, like it's pretty fast. You're going to be fired. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. So like these are the main things that I've noticed, like being over here. Yeah.
Seems like Singapore is more like, as a country, more blunt, to the point, more straightforward. Like at least when they speak, they kind of mean what they say. And then other countries maybe have more of a polite etiquette in the way they speak, but that might clash with you and what you're used to. That's good.
But you know something interesting? Like one of the things that people said to us when we first arrived is they said we are too polite, because I think at the same time we have this Asian thing where we are like extremely like putting others first. I think this is something that we have actually grown and changed. Like we realized that part of that whole behavior was because we always see other people as like more important or heroes, because we were taught that way, you know, like. But then the only hero is you. Like you have to take charge of everything. You have to take responsibility, and like when you take other people, you're giving them the responsibility of forcing them to like save me from don't know what. So like, you know, it's some kind of complex as well. Like I need something, but do you really need something? You know what I mean? Like it's like a whole.
We need that quote. You are your own hero. You are the hero. And
yeah, you know, that was like the main like idea when we did our last show, the one that like you didn't turn up in the end. Like that was like like we actually had a code there on a piece of paper for everybody to sign on, and it was like, I am the hero of my own story.
Oh, I love that. So
you know what we'll do? Sorry to cut you off, but I wanna get that. Next time I see you, I'm gonna bring that and get you to sign it as well.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Asian culture definitely teaches you like work the hardest, be the best you can be, but like don't brag about it. Like you still have to act like super humble, fight for the check. Other parents' kids are better than your parents' kids. Like that's like the idea. It's like almost like putting ourselves down. So it seems like what you learned is like it's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to rely on yourself, and you're not like bragging about it. You're just like simply relying on yourself.
Yes, like Asian culture is like a weird mix of like self-negating and at the same time always showing off. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, that's
showing
true.
off without showing off. Without showing off.
Yeah. But of course, coming here and being so far away from home, like we have like definitely now learned to understand Singapore in a much clearer way. Like we are proud of Singapore now, like, you know, just living there and like being in the thick of the heat and all the people and the overwhelming like skyscrapers and everything, you know, you just feel like I need to get out sometimes, you know. Yeah, but now like we see how like incredible Singapore is, and we are very proud of where we came from, and at the same time we love Mexico, so we have the best of everything, you know?
Yes.
Beautiful blend of both worlds. That's amazing. So I'd love to move our interview onto more about your art. So I see that your band name is called IlluMinAri, and I was on your Spotify profile reading the bio, and you guys kind of mentioned that you chose that name because, quote, it means astral beings that shift in and out of bodily form. So I really wanted to ask you guys, I actually don't know the answer to this. I'm very curious. What does that definition mean to you? And like, why did that definition and the name IlluMinAri connect so deeply with you?
Right. So okay, let me just explain the like. Okay, so IlluMinAri sounds a lot like Illuminati, right? Which is like all the conspiracy theory stuff and blah blah blah. But like mainly, like if you see it both, I mean, you see it as an yin and yang kind of contrast. So like if Illuminati or like the yang principle is like this masculine idea of like how to search for truth through like material understanding. And like IlluMinAri is the feminine principle of like seeking truth through like inner work, self-reflection, art, all that. So like when we saw like IlluMinAri with like when we saw it, and we realized that it was a body of like astral beings or something. We thought it was perfect for us because we were in that stage where we just wanted to get rid of.
I don't know if I'm on camera or they're on camera or who's frozen.
That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign.
Hey,
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah, we
Nope.
having
So many times today. Yeah.
some
Maybe it's the
technical
heat.
issues.
The
Yeah.
electronics are feeling the heat.
Something's going weird in
Just
the air
blame it on
today.
the heat. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we
Talk about
so what
IlluMinAri.
were we saying? Okay,
Yeah.
let me just check whether everything's cool. Okay. So yeah, so we were saying that like so like because we were really focusing on getting rid of the ego. Like I mean, coming from a place like Singapore where like presentation and your image like is so like important. Like everybody is just very much all about who you are on the outside, not so much on the inside. Like that, of course, like we do have very deep relationships with people as well, but the first layer is so important in Singapore, and it's materialistic. It's a country where like it's a lot about that.
Yeah. And also in a broader sense, we wanted to hijack the term. Like when you say Illuminati or IlluMinAri, people always have, Illuminati, they have an opinion, they have, isn't that the secret society people who wanted to hijack all of the people who control the world and stuff like that and things like that, right? Generally negative stuff. And so we kind of taking it as a challenge to kind of hijack the whole term and convert it into something about beauty, pursuit of truth, and inner understanding and things like that. So yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I love the double meaning. That's really cool, Isaac. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Like shifting astral being sounds almost like spiritual to me, more about like who you are in the inside, no like materialistic or like physical form. Shifting in and out of bodily form. That's very interesting. That's kind of something you do as an artist, right? Like it's kind of about emotions, but we can't deny that we are humans on earth and our physical environment does affect us. So it's like a blend of both. That's really great. So yeah, so I think tell me if this is right, your goal leaving Singapore as an artist was to really have the opportunity to discover who you are as an artist, expand your artistry, just learn more about yourself without certain pressures holding you back. So how did moving to Mexico City influence your art over 9 years, and kind of where do you think your artistry, how would you describe it now?
I mean, I think it's important to say, like, in the very beginning, maybe even all the years, like until recent ones, like we didn't care that much about like maybe putting out our art, or like that really was not the main focus. Like we were all about being our project and being IlluMinAri, and but like IlluMinAri was about us spiritually exploring life first and foremost.
Yeah.
So we didn't care about like the music as much as like feeling and understanding, and in a way like we called it in the beginning like dying, because I said like getting rid of the ego. So getting rid of all those identities that we had to work with, and just go to the reset, the zero space.
Yeah, and there were crutches for us also, like the identities that we were kind of using, so that were not serving us anymore in a sense,
Yeah. So like I mean we like as time goes by, like we just collected a lot of fears. I mean I think like is like I'm not saying that I have more than other people. I think that every person has a lot of fears, a lot of like thoughts that are like not true, but they live with it, and like I felt like being here in Mexico cleaned it all one by one.
Wow.
Yeah, even limitations, I mean, an example of that would be just like, okay, I think I should stay in my lane, because if I get too far out of my lane, I might not be able to blah blah blah. That's an example of something that we wanted to break out of, because we in pursuit of our artistry as well, like because doing what we want to do, we needed to actually learn a lot of things. We needed to be students a lot of times, and so we needed a kind of fearlessness, a kind of like a, we're just gonna attack this kind of attitude, and to cultivate that. Yeah, this was a big part of it, like. Yeah.
Right, like when we first arrived, we were vegetarians. We were like super like in our own lifestyle, and then we decided that like to break all the boxes, we need to just change up everything. So like we started smoking cigarettes again. I mean, it's just bad, like just
Yeah.
it's not a good thing to
Bad,
to
good
tell
and
people
bad.
to do. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay, and then like so like right now at this very moment, we feel so like coming to a full circle space of understanding our entire journey here in Mexico.
Yeah, like another example is we used to do yoga, right? Like pretty intensely and without fail, kind of thing. And it was serving us.
Wait, I just need to interject, but like
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
at the time when we were doing yoga, and then we
Interesting
were
what you're saying.
like and all that, right? It's like it was a point where nobody else was doing, and everybody said we were being very like cray, and like anything to do with like the what I call spirituality, like people call it woo woo or new age.
Yep.
So it was not at a good time, right? And then now it's like the whole world is completely wanting more information in this direction. Yeah. But before when we were like avid yoga practitioners, it was a whole different environment for us. Yeah.
Honestly, you could count on your hands like the number of different YouTube channels or sources of information where you could find. It was really rare,
Yeah,
Wow.
like
It's just
nothing
a
out there.
few. Yeah, and this is.
Yeah, so the word IlluMinAri did hit us. Like I was not like that happy actually with like it being so affiliated with Illuminati, because I'm not so interested in like the conspiracy game, But like I think like the combination of us, it makes sense, because Isaac is very like he reads up a lot on all these things, and
Yeah, and actually to be a bit more specific, since we're talking about it, like let's and to just kind of open it up a bit, like what the Illuminati actually is. I mean, like generally, if you look at it, it was a band of people that came together with a sinister purpose, of infiltrating organizations all around the world, right, with their own agenda. And we don't need to get into what the agenda is or anything.
or if
like
they
that.
really exist or not,
Or if
or
they really
what.
exist,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's
But just that idea itself is something really negative in a way, manipulative in a way, and we feel like we want to just change that, change that feeling, change that, yeah.
But you're right.
For me, I was.
Yeah, the name like calls the people's attention right away, and you're right. It
Yeah.
kind of sparks an immediate like controversy. So
Yeah.
I think that is very interesting about your band name. It almost
Right.
draws the viewer to like, why don't you see what we're
What is
really
that?
about? Why don't you see who we are as artists? And it like
Exactly.
challenges their beliefs. So pretty cool.
Right. And for me, I'm just particularly drawn to the whole like like the feminine aspect of it, because I mean it's not just because I'm a woman, but yeah, but I just thought it was like it has its own symbology, and it's like for example, I like when I first arrived, and when we started the project, I decided to dye my hair like completely bright blue.
Okay.
And it's because the energy streams on on our spine. There's the Ida and the Pingala, and the feminine one, the energy that is going towards the brain, it's blue. So I wanted to embody that.
Yeah, this the pranic channels where I mean, like basically in the body, on the left and right, the way prana actually moves in your body. And if you want to know what prana actually is, it's kind of the substance that I mean, this is documented a Hindu idea, right? It's a Hindu idea, a Hindu philosophy, that breath and thought even are just different forms of prana. Different forms of prana. Yeah, and they're all from the same source. Yeah.
Right. So what are you thinking about everything that
Yes,
we're
tell
saying?
us what
No, that's great.
you
Yeah, I think your journey as artists has been really interesting, and it's almost like the artist can't just sit in a room and make amazing art. They have to actually go out in the world, live it, and then you are the art. So I think you guys embodied that. I think Olivia Rodrigo said the same thing. She's like, after I release an album, I take like blank number of months off from songwriting so I can just live life and actually experience things, so I could have songs to write about instead of just like writing about random stuff. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that really stuck out to me in your journey is this theme about like finding your authentic voice as artists instead of, so like Celestine had told me a story that when she had arrived in Mexico City, she was given a certain artistic opportunity, but it was more like they would pay you to sing certain songs. And Celestine didn't feel like she had the freedom as an artist to express herself. She felt like she was being paid like a singing monkey. So I found that like a very, very interesting story, because that story stuck with you, because that was the moment you decided, I don't want to be a singing monkey. I actually want to do something else. And like in life, you always have to make choices, right? Do I take the money, or like, do I choose a certain lifestyle, or do I choose something about myself that I value more? And it looks like you guys chose instead to like really focus on finding your authentic voices. So what have you learned about that journey about yourselves? And also, what advice can you give to other artists about finding their authentic voices?
So you're referring to when I was back in Singapore, and then I really felt like a singing monkey, because like I was just like like every night just doing like a set list, and then when I was in the casino, when I was working in the casino, there was even more felt like a singing monkey, because like they would give tips, which I was happy about. It was good money. And they even give me presents. Like I think I got a Ferragamo like hairband, which I wouldn't use, so I just sold it, and yeah, it was.
They like you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like that. It was really like, okay, they send up a request, like they want me to do all those power numbers like Whitney Houston and stuff. Like they send up the request, and then I belt it out. Then I get like a tip after that. Like it's really like just give the money.
Like a
To the vending machine, and then you get the product. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's cool, and it's like it's really a good living in Singapore, because the economy is so good that the entertainment industry is not affected, right? Because if like the economy is bad, immediately the first thing to go, the first thing to be cut down would be the
Luxury
bands.
entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will cut the bands out. Yeah, so like basically, yeah. Like what do you want to add to?
Yeah, and that whole thing about being a singing monkey, and now we are moving towards I mean, what is that? And that was the thing that we were curious about. Like, what is that? What is it being an artist? You know, like, is it really that important to have your own songs, your own visuals?
Right.
Like, what's the deal with that? That's something that
Right,
was
yeah.
really, yeah.
This conversation is
Interesting for
the
us.
interesting one, like for us the whole time. It was like we always talk about this with my brother. Like it's like real to be a real artist, which we always put in quotation marks, or to be a hipster, right?
Yeah,
Was a
hipster.
hipster? Yeah, I forgot the word,
Yeah.
but. So
At
like
that point, it
just
was like-
posing, you know, just like pretending like but like what's a real artist? Like we feel right now, and I wouldn't have something very concrete to explain why, but right now we feel more real. Maybe because like we feel like we've gone through shit and came out of it being very joyful. So yeah, so I think we really now feel the like, okay, we deserve it, the street cred, no, for the
And going through that, we also feel like our eyes are kind of cleaner now to actually look at things that we used to judge before. You know, like for example, looking at something that's really popular, or someone, or some artist, or some celebrity, or some entrepreneur who's doing things really on a big scale.
Yeah.
Now we can see that is art. I mean, when you touch the people, that is art. You know, like people respond to it. That's art. You know.
Yeah.
And we don't really have those judgments that we used to have about these things. You know, like kind of like you know.
yeah, and I think it really falls back on the word real, like authenticity, like and anything is cool, anything's art. Like if you're really coming from a place within, and if you are projecting, and like if you're marketing, it's a whole other thing. It's I don't know, maybe for me personally it was just for that. Like I think every individual might have a different process, you know,
Yeah.
about what works for them, what
It's
is
interesting you talk about marketing also, because for us that journey has also, I mean,
Come full circle.
kind of come full circle, and it's been changing. You know, like
Yeah.
marketing has changed from how do we appear as if we are, for example, we have what it takes to you know to sell this, or how do we appear. That whole thing has changed now into just being more real and actually
And that will
connecting.
project. Yeah.
And that itself would have its own kind of smell, its own kind of fragrance.
Yeah, and
you know?
truly passionate, and just sharing without really needing anything. Like, I mean, there's so many complexes. Like in the very beginning, when I first started singing back in Singapore and all that, I just refused to market at all as well, because like I don't want to play the game.
Yeah.
Like I just want to do what I love, and there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done, especially in that environment where everybody is so like they're so convinced that the other way is the right way, you know, like fake it till you make it and all that was always there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that's really interesting what you said, that I asked about authentic voice, and then you guys brought up this really interesting idea of like, what is a real artist? Like, what does real mean to you? What does, if that person impacts people but it's not good, but people like it, it's like, then is that a real artist? So it's interesting how your views have changed, that you've become like less judgmental of other people and just like focusing on your own art, and like that's amazing. Because sometimes I do that too. I like watch a movie and it's like not that good, and then it's like, okay, do we call that art? But they did try, and they did try to express themselves, even if it was not a good movie, in my opinion. It was. There are 5 minutes left to go. Okay, yeah. We're gonna finish up. So I'd love to know
Yeah,
about
now-
your new single.
Now,
I
Jen,
Am
you
Money.
need to like check what the host has to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, we're
Yeah.
really enjoying this, by the way. Like, I wish we
Yeah,
had
so
more time, to
fun.
be
Okay.
honest. Like, yeah.
You guys have a wealth, years and years of knowledge and just experience as an artist. So it's very interesting. So yeah, I Am the Money. Girl, I listened to it. It was so good. Can you guys tell us about like, what does I Am the Money mean to you? What does the single mean to you? And kind of like, what are the main themes of the song?
Yeah, we realized after putting it out, like everybody like felt something with the title. Like it's exactly what we wanted. Like we wanted like it to have a call in you, you know, like you are the shit, you are the you are the money, you are the
money. Yeah.
you like going deeper into it. You need nothing else. You are the money. You know, and like we were watching.
Everyone's chasing the money, but you're the money.
Yeah, like so you are complete. you are exactly like everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also you are the source, and so the creations come from you, and you don't really need to be actually chasing validation in that way also. And because a lot of times us for years also we got stuck working with people, and thinking that we are getting somewhere, and actually we're just kind of just pacifying our own like our own kind of like insecurity, thinking like trying to get things done.
And it's very funny because like it does mark the because this is our production debut, right? Before we've always worked with other producers, some amazing ones, and they are like very good at what they do. And but we have no knowledge. We learned everything ourselves, and like we've always thought that we won't be able to do it, and we always needed other people and all that. So I Am the Money was also a very physical like thing. Like it was our debut, and we realized that like just do it. Like it doesn't need to be perfect. It like that's the whole idea, like we embrace imperfection. In fact, like just to give a little bit about like the next song, the next original we are going to release is actually called Honor, and it's about honoring your flaws.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, not just accepting. I mean, it's popular now for people to say, "Hey, you should accept your flaws." No, for us, we want to flip that. You should honor your flaws, because your flaws are kind of what makes up your face, your life, your
beauty.
Yeah.
You're like sometimes when you see something too perfect, it looks completely AI or robot or whatever, right? And then it doesn't. You can't feel it. There's no achingness, there's no like
realness.
magic. There's no
the
wildness.
Beauty, ugliness, good, bad. We're definitely dichotomy as humans, so that's really great. Yeah, it's kind of like that compliment where someone says like, "Oh, I'm so fat." No, you're not fat. You're really pretty. It's like, well, we never said being fat is ugly. It's very like you said, honoring your flaws and like loving your flaws, because that, like you said, it actually makes you you. Hey, we heard it here first. Their next single, Honor. That's so exciting.
Exactly. You're so right. It's the first time we're mentioning it.
Yeah. Very last question before we leave. I just want to ask, everyone's kind of on their journey and different phases of their lives. So it seems like your songs have really reflected your journey of self-acceptance, self-love, self-confidence throughout the years. Is there any kind of new journey that you're embarking on emotionally or artist-wise?
Wow, good question.
That's a great question. Wow. Okay.
Then after asking that, she like mic drop, and then she like goes
sure.
back.
Well, I'll say this, right? Going through all that, what we've realized is that the full circleness of everything. It's like after going through certain things, certain complexities, you find that you come back to actually where you were. And so we've seen that pattern repeat many times over. Like almost like taking a holiday, you take a trip to the Bahamas, you have a ball of a time, and then you end up back home, So it's kind of like that cycle,
right, and
with fresher eyes, with newer experience.
And this reminds me that I Am the Money is also like most importantly to note that it's about coming back to the healthy ego, and this healthy ego is who you are as a child, where you're just like. You just do things. You just like when you're given any. But if you're dealing with like getting rid of ego, which we spend a lot of years doing, we are like not sure about doing our best, because if you're going to do your best, then you like, but why? Like, am I being too proud? Am I not being humble? Am I trying to up somebody else? Like compete with someone else, and all that is just like all processed already. And now we are at the healthy ego where you're just doing. Yeah,
exactly.
Action.
Doing.
It's action now. Yeah.
Another way we like to think about it is like like in the process of just getting rid of the ego is kind of like you have tools, right? And you're just kind of not using the ego tools or the dark tools. But now, if you've processed things, you've worked with your shadow self, and you're good. If you're good, you can use all of the tools.
Mm-hmm.
You can use every tool. You can use the tools that previously you deemed egotistic or stuff like that. But you're not gonna have your intention to be right. You're not gonna be creating disharmony with people that
you're not going to use it in a self-destructive way. You're going to use it in a healthier way now.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
And to answer your question, like right now, what I feel like I'm working on, like spiritually, is really to be more and more comfortable in the unknown, and like everything, to let my comfort zone expand to where there's none. There are no edges, you know, and
no comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and don't need to try to keep controlling life, you know, like, or things with my mind. And so this is really the main thing that I'm on.
Cool. We'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, I would love it. I think everyone should go on that journey, including myself, getting out of their comfort zone. It's a lifelong journey for sure.
Yeah.
So
thank
Jen,
you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for interviewing us.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just like fascinating. Like you're artists, you're like nomads, you move around. It's really interesting.
Thank you. This is really fun, and I feel like we should do this again sometime in the future. Like
Yeah.
Maybe when you're back in the US, we should do like maybe we can invite one more person and do like a 3-way window.
Yeah. Why not?
That'd be great. Part 2, I want to dig in more about the ego that you guys are talking about. I think that's very interesting.
That's what I'm feeling too. That I feel like we don't have time when we started getting to that topic. I was like, wow, there's so much to talk about here.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people everywhere, this is That Foreign Show. A very special episode of That Foreign Show. Hashtag tables. Table turn, role reversal. And we have beautiful Jennifer with us. I'm Isaac.
I'm Celestine Angel, and we are here on the ADR Networks signing out. Activating your senses. I always forget.
Activate. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, y'all.